Hey there, it's Carson from Wandering Dillos. In this episode, we're going to take a look at another way that we're trying to beat the heat here in Central Florida. So today we're going to be looking at the EZSnap do-it-yourself shade screen system. At the core of the system is this fabric. It looks kind of like a screen material, only it's much thicker. Doesn't have a lot of stretch in either direction. It's a little unique in that supposedly it'll let light in but keeps most of the ultraviolet radiation out. It comes with some snaps that we'll be looking at here in a minute to install it. The kit you can order online, comes in various sizes. But we'll show you how the whole system works together, how the installation goes, and most importantly, whether or not this stuff actually works. So your first step will be to identify what windows you want to cover, and then get some careful measurements to make sure you get the right amount of material. In hard cases like our windshield, where it's curved in a couple different directions, we actually made a paper pattern and then measured the pattern to make sure that we would get the right size material. Once you have your measurements, you can go to the EZSnap website. They've got a calculator that'll tell you exactly how much material you need to order, and it'll even generate a layout which will show you how to cut the pieces from the material in your kit to make sure that you get the best usage of the material that you've ordered and that you don't order more than you need or come up short. The online calculator will also estimate exactly how many fasteners that you'll need for your total project, and make a recommendation as to which kit to order online. Okay, so here are the base components of the system. The first thing is a primer to put on the surface. So you just snap this thing, shake it, and then wherever you're going to apply it, let that sit for a few minutes. Then you'll take the base, it's got an adhesive back on it, so you'll peel off that base, you attach it to the surface. Say to apply 15 pounds of pressure. I don't know what that is, but if you squish it down, that'll work. The next step is you take one of these pins. It's also a snap on the bottom. You snap it onto the base. Then you take your material, your fabric, push it over the pin. And then the last step is you take one of these locking caps, press it on, and now you've got a firm connection between the RV and your shade. When it's time to remove it, use this handy dandy removal tool provided with your kit. Slide it under the snap, and give it a little twist, comes right off. So that's the basics of how these components work. So we're going to do a little experiment. This window's in full sun. We're going to use that tape as a target. You can see the temperature. It's right about 106 degrees. So then we're going to pop that screen off, give it a few minutes, and see what the temperature difference is. Alright, we've removed the screen. It's been about 10 minutes still in full sunlight. It's definitely visibly brighter. Let's check the reading and see what we've got. 112. So with the screen in place, looks like it knocked about 6 degrees. So that's a little less than I would have expected, but every bit helps. So this will give you an idea of what the finished product looks like on the outside. And here's the view from the inside. So you can see that from the outside you really can't see in, but from the inside you get some good daylight, the ability to see out. Our neighbor calls this RV TV because you can just sit here and watch the RV world go by, and they can't see in. So what's the verdict? I would say overall we're pretty happy with the product and the installation. It's a little bit of work. It's a little tedious to do the install, but you do save quite a bit of money doing it yourself versus hiring somebody to install these things for you. As far as the main goal, which is keeping the coach cooler, it has definitely had a positive effect. You can really feel the difference, especially in the late afternoon when the sun sets and hits those front windows directly. It definitely makes a noticeable difference. Was a little bit disappointed in the data. You know, when we took the measurements, it looked like it really only cut the surface temperature inside the coach maybe 5 or 6 degrees. But I think when you consider the surface area, the amount of area that is affected, that probably increases that contribution quite a bit. You're taking quite a bit of heat load out of the area that we don't have to use air conditioning to keep cool. As far as the privacy bit, it works. We can see out very well. Folks cannot see in during the day. One thing we've learned though is in the evening, if you have lights on in the coach, you can see right in. So the privacy aspect of it really only works during the day. During the night, you want to pull the screens to avoid any shows for the neighbors. As far as the installation, was fairly straightforward. Took a little bit of time. The only thing that I guess I don't like about the product is when you remove the screens. So if you're going to be traveling, you pop all those screens off, you are stuck with all of the little round base connectors, and so it kind of looks like you've got this little ring of rivets around each window. Not a big deal. It's a cosmetic thing. There are other products out there that use different fastening systems where you don't seem to need quite as many fasteners, but overall not a deal breaker. One quick tip: in the video you'll notice that we were applying the product directly onto the glass. It's actually not the preferred way to do it. The intended way is to put the little base plates directly onto the flat surface around the window rather than on the glass. The reason we had to do that for the door is because there's just not enough trim around the window to get a good spot to place those bases. So in that case, you can apply it directly to the glass. That's just not the most preferred way to do it. So in conclusion, good product, a good do-it-yourself project. I don't know that if you were just camping short term that it would make much sense financially to do it. Even in our case, we're probably not going to recover the $450 investment in materials when it comes to a decrease in our utility bills, but it has certainly made it more comfortable. So if you're going to be full-time living in a hot climate with a lot of sunshine, probably worth making that investment just for your own comfort. Even if it doesn't pay for itself financially. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully we'll see you on the road real soon. Until then, stay safe.